Batman Year One will always be important to the mythos of the Dark Knight, and even though it has been retconned, it is still a great story. One that I always come back to and enjoy to just read. It's the one that got me into the characters like Jim Gordon, Selina Kyle, Bruce Wayne, and Gotham as a whole. I always felt that many of the movies have and continue to take inspiration from Batman Year One, especially with the recent Batman film, even though he was in his year two of being the Dark Knight. Year one shows a look at Gordon and Bruce coming to Gotham with the same goal, but just different paths. They both want to help people and to clean up Gotham. This Batman, in comparison to modern Batman in comics, is way less experienced. He relies less on tech and gadgets. He's not fantastical and is more gritty and down to earth. I'm not saying that there is something wrong with the modern take on the character, but what I am saying is that Batman Year One is a timeless character. While it does shine a small light on the wealthy playboy Bruce Wayne, it shines multiple different lights on other aspects of living that many people growing up, including myself, can find a relation to. Growing up in a bad neighborhood or poor city where violence, crime was common, it shows what corruption does to a city, whether it is a police officer or officers following orders of a corrupt government official, the desperate measures people take to make ends meet, and one glimmer of hope in a man dressed as a bat. Seeing a character fumble when they are starting out is one of the most relatable things that really attaches me to the story as a reader. Not being this perfect superhero where no matter what, they will win and the people love them. Not in Year One. It's just Batman against the city, and while he does get hurt and does have setbacks, he eventually has success, but he doesn't get there right away. The story has him go through the process of figuring out what he wants to do, who he wants to be, like a calling he hears beyond the dark veil to himself calling out to him, beginning his obsession with ridding Gotham of crime. Then you have Jim Gordon, who is a flawed human. He's a good person, but he makes some very poor choices in the story. I guess the reason is that if you are a cop who is married to their job and you have a partner that is pretty much like someone you're attracted to, then eventually you will become close and one thing could lead to another, but I'm not sure. It's a weird relationship the two have, and I felt that if it wasn't in the story, it wouldn't affect it much. But I do like how Jim, over time in the story, tries to play along with the whole dirty cop gig, but eventually gets tired of it. He starts to go against the current force, Flash, and corruption in general. It gets him and his family in trouble to the point he almost loses everything, and the only one that can help him in his moment of need is Batman. It was something that not only felt personal to Bruce, I feel, but was a moment that instilled what he wanted to do with his Batman persona. He not only wanted to clean the city of crime, but he wanted to protect the people that lived in the city. He wanted to be their guardian. The art and coloring of this book by David Mazzucchelli and Richmond Lewis is fantastic and really pulls you into the story and making it feel more noir and really gritty, especially when it comes to the look of the city itself, showing many iconic and memorable scenes that have stayed and stuck over the years. When it comes to the writing, Frank Miller is at his best here, telling us a story involving two characters and showing the day in the lives in Gotham City and hinting at the future that is to come for the both of them, what they have been through, what the city has been through, and introducing us to characters that will continue to evolve and grow over the years. Batman Year One, I think, will continue to be one of those stories that anyone getting into Batman will read. I feel that it would influence those that continue to tell stories, whether it is movies, video games, comics, or just indie heroes in general. A simple concept of a man in a suit, a human who wants to basically be Robin Hood and Zorro, and making him something more, making him a man villains fear.